are 3 properties of logarithms that you need to know for 7.5. The first one is the product property. So the product property. And you're probably going to want to write these down for your notes. And what that says is a log base b of mn, 2 numbers being multiplied together, is equal to the log base b of m plus the log base b of n. So if it's 2 numbers multiplied together, you can separate it into addition of those 2 numbers. The second property you need is the quotient property for division. And what that says is if you have a log base b of m divided by n, you can separate that into log base b of m minus log base b of n. So it's really the opposite of the product property. When you have division, you subtract. If you have the product property, you add. The last property you need is the power property. And the power property says log base b of some m to the nth power is equal to n times the log base b of m. So if you have a power, you can put it out front and multiply it by the logarithm. So these are things you're going to need to remember for this entire lesson. The first example is something like this. It'll say find log base 4 of 3/7 given log base 4 of 3 equals 0.792 and log base 4 of 7 equals 1.404. So when we see this, we know we can use the quotient property right here because it's division, and we can rewrite it like this: log base 4 of 3 minus log base 4 of 7. It tells us what log base 4 of 3 is. It tells us what log base 4 of 7 is, so we plug that in. 0.792 minus 1.404. And we're going to calculate our answer. Negative 0.612. Okay. Another example is, I'm trying to keep those properties on the screen for you. Second example is log base 4 of 21 given log 4 of 3 is that and log 4 of 7 is that. Same thing. Now we don't know what log base 4 of 21 is, so we're going to break this down to its parts. So it's log base 4 of 3 times 7, and we know what 3 times 7 are, so we're going to use that product formula. We're going to put log base 4 of 3 plus log base 4 of 7. Just substitute in that here and there. 792 plus 1.404. And that's going to give us our answer of 2.196. And that's what we get. Log base 4 of 3 times 7 is 2.196. Now, using your calculator, you can also find the answer as well. Yesterday I talked about yesterday or 2 days ago, 7.4, I talked about the change of base formula. So if you want to evaluate this, and they don't tell you what the numbers are equal to, you can just say this is equal to log base 10 of 21 divided by log base 10 of 4. This is the change of base formula where this number goes on the top, this number goes on the bottom. You have to use a calculator to calculate this. It's log base 10 though, so your calculator can do it. So let's see, log 21 divided by log 4, and we get the same exact answer, 2.196. Got the same exact answer that we did when we took that and expanded it out, when we said it was log base 4 of 3 times 7, and then plugged in numbers. So the change of base formula is going to be very, very useful for you, which is log of this first number divided by log of the second number, plug it into your calculator. That's still going to be very useful for you. Another big section is going to say expand a certain logarithm. You can't calculate it because it just has like variables in it. You're not going to come up with a number if you plug that in. What you're going to do is just use these properties to break this down to its components, so expand it out. So the first thing we look at is we see there we're dividing two things, 5x cubed divided by y. So we're going to use the quotient property to divide that into two equations. So log base 6 5x to the third minus log base 6 of y. So we use the quotient property first. Quotient property. Now this one's done. There's nothing more we can do there. But now we're going to use the product property to break that apart. So we're going to write log base 6 of 5 plus log base 6 of x cubed minus log 6 of y. That's the product property. Product. And that's just because 5 is being multiplied by x cubed, so it's really the log of 5 plus the log of x cubed. We have one more thing to do. We have a power here. So we're going to use that last one, the power property, to break this one up. So we have log base 6 of 5 plus 3 log base 6 of x minus log base 6 of y. Because remember, for the power property, it says you should bring this 3 out front, and this is going to be your answer. So if it says expand, you need to go through the steps and break it down so there's only one thing in each place. There will be some problems that say condense, and this is just the opposite of expand. We need to figure out where they got this formula from. So first, if you see a number out front, you know that they use the power property to take that exponent and put it out front. Take this exponent and put it out front. So we can rewrite this as natural log x to the 6th plus natural log of y to the 4th. Because that's where that came from. The power property puts that coefficient in front. Now, when we see plus, we know that they use the product property. So we're going to reverse that. We're going to have natural log x to the 6th times the times y to the 4th. And that's the condensed form of that. And just remember, natural log is the same as log, but natural log, instead of log usually has a number like base 10 or log base 6. Natural log just has a base e, which is a 2.71. So it's really the same thing as log, and it shouldn't freak you out when you see natural log. Just remember, it's basically what it means is log base e.